Long ago, when the world was bright and full of stories, an evil wizard gained the power to touch the face of God. Narrativa, goddess of stories and weaver of our world, banished him to the void, but not before he stole a piece of her divine essence. With this newfound power, the wizard lay a dread curse upon all the world, the Glyph Purge, which struck from the minds of all mortals the knowledge of how to read and write. Now, all that stand between the Isle of Meotia and an age of endless ignorance are the bards, who tell stories of distant lands, exotic creatures, and brave heroes. This is one such tale.
Hello and welcome to Challenge Rating Zero, the latest and greatest Dungeons & Dragons podcast to hit the internet airwaves. I am Sam, your Dungeon Master, and I am joined as always by my longtime friends and adventuring companions.
Hello, I'm Brian, and I play Hektor the Gatekeeper.
Hi, I'm Beth, and I play Rilla Longshadow.
Hey there, I'm Alex, and I play Ruger Firehide.
And last but not least, we have the man who calls himself Michael, but who we call Parker. Michael Parker playing the druid Zurabak. Say hi, Parker.
Hi, Parker.
Fantastic. We are joined once again for a tale of epic fantasy. Our heroes are done with their, I'll admit it, listeners, I'll cop to this, lengthy break. And, that's on all of us. Mostly Zurabak, but that's on all of us. A lot of materials to acquire, some leads to chase down, some NPCs to talk to.
Zurabak gets bored waiting for all you assholes. You can wait for him.
We have jobs, okay? Real life responsibilities.
I had a child.
Disturbing.
Indeed he does. Let's get into the thick of it here. When last we left our heroes, Hektor, Rilla, and the lawman Ruger Firehide were in the city of Everspring, as discussed, working their jobs. Hektor working with the College of Whispers as a curator, Rilla working with the College of Everspring as a professor in the arts of transmutation and healing up from her dying and coming back to life, and Ruger Firehide officially joining the Knightly Order of the Quill as a scrivener. All the while, Zurabak went on a world tour collecting all of the trappings of a true noble, gaining a herald in the form of Hektor's younger brother, traveling to his keep on the Isle of Niho in the Ashen Islands, and talking to his staff, Pretty Polly and Mrs. Fisher, and getting just a whole new wardrobe and a set of armor. Our heroes left off last time preparing to engage on their next grand adventure. They're heading to the mountain range known as the Gate, Hektor's hometown, in order to retrieve from its depths a skull of a giant, another key ingredient in the spell they need to cast to fix the Glyph Purge and bring order back to the land. Our heroes have gathered at the standing stones at the tallest point in all of the Everspring Mountains and have been seen off by Lore Master Holland in their usual fashion. And the very last thing we did is have them all step through the portals. Well, portal singular. You all step through a shimmering plane of energy, and the world is white. There is a rushing in your ears as you magically teleport great distances in the blink of an eye. And when you step out of the standing stone, arriving at your destination in the gate, you are assailed by a bitterly chill wind that immediately scours you. Driving snow assails you, piling up in enormous drifts all around you. We've got Rilla, Ruger, Hektor, Zurabak. We've got the stricken Snake, Rutherford, and Zurabak's new herald, Cedric. Hektor, you immediately realize where you are in the mountain range known as the Gate, even through the driving snow and the buffeting winds, and you know this is not fucking good. As you look around you, you realize that you are on the very tallest peak in the entire mountain range. You are at the highest elevation, it is said by members of your clan, on all the island of Miosha. This is Heaven's Spire, the absolute pinnacle of the tallest mountain in this entire mountain range. You have only seen this part of the mountains from afar, and the entirety of these mountains, their jutting peaks, are at a lower level than you all are standing at the very pinnacle of this sharp spike of mountain stone driving into the heavens. This gate lets out at the very top of this summit, and this environment is not hospitable for life. Having grown up here your entire life, Hektor, you know that there's a couple things that are incredibly dangerous about being this high in the mountains. For one, everything is covered in thick layers of snow and ice, which is not good. For two, the temperatures here regularly reach negative 40 degrees, which is not good and can easily kill you. And thirdly, there's very little oxygen at this altitude. You've spent your entire life climbing mountains, and you've been, far above these fucking lowlanders you've been traveling with for most of your childhood and adult life, but you all know not to climb this high, because as you look down the dizzying drop on either side of this pinnacle of stone that you're standing on, the air is so thin, it is incredibly hard for all of you to breathe. It actually strikes you all with a little bit of panic as you try to gasp for air. The second you all get out of this gate, I need you all to roll me fortitude saving throws.
How many?
1.
And Boots of the Winterland, does that do anything for me here?
Oh, we'll get to the cold in a second. This is just because there's no fucking air up here.
Would you like one from Snake and possibly the cat?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely everyone needs to roll this. There is a disconcerting lack of oxygen at this altitude.
Dirty 20 with a 6 on the dice.
Excellent. Holy shit.
Goddamn.
Paladin, baby.
24.
17 for Rilla and a 11 for Rutherford.
Oh, that's a shame.
Snake got 20 altogether. My fortitude's plus 10. And I got a 23.
What's Cedric's modifier? I can roll for my brother.
I rolled for your brother.
You did?
Your brother gets a bonus for being a gatekeeper, which I applied to your role as well. So everyone, except unfortunately Rilla and Rutherford, is fine. But Rilla, there's very little air up here, and you try sucking in some quick breaths, and it is very quickly apparent that you are not getting as much oxygen as you need. You are currently kind of suffocating a little bit.
Great.
You can hold your breath for 2 rounds per point of constitution you have.
I have a constitution of 14.
So
For the modifier or by the overall?
The overall points. So you can hold your breath for 28 minutes. Or 28 rounds, forgive me. So
28 rounds?
just to clarify, you all come out in this horrific driving wind, this quickly falling snow that cuts you like razors as it's blown against your face and bodies. The air is incredibly thin. You're all wheezing, and Rilla immediately is like in a very bad way, unable to breathe. The direct environment around you, you are on the very tip of an incredibly steep pinnacle of rock, and the only way down is a set of stairs, almost invisible under the snowfall and ice that has been carved into the side of this pinnacle of stone. and is obviously sized for giants. These steps have like 3 feet of space from one to the next, leading down steeply to the rest of the mountain range. What do you all do?
Toboggan on down.
Well, I'm holding my breath apparently, and probably frantically waving at you all.
Yeah.
Why would the portal let out here?
The bards are trying to kill us.
Reasonable guess.
How far down is it until there is something that we can stand on?
I mean, you're standing on, like fairly solid ground. There's a, steps leading down directly from this gate.
Oh, there are steps? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, there's broad stone steps cut into the side of this rock pinnacle. It looks like they're sized for giants.
All right, well, I start heading down because I'm holding my breath. Yeah.
Yeah, I start.
Yeah, I light my fire axe and cast Endure Elements, and then I go down.
Fantastic. Yeah, Ruger, you imbue yourself with some of your ranger magic, the magic of the wilds, and you shield yourself completely from the horrific chill of this high altitude. Hektor, with his boots of the Winterlands, is also protected from this horrific chill. And Rilla, in a panic, starts hastening down these steps, and you all see she's in a bad fucking way. You all start heading down, and it looks like Rilla's like actively fucking suffocating. Why don't you all roll me some
Survival checks.
Yeah, roll me some survival checks to see how well you can navigate this fucking horrific mountainous environment. See how quickly you can get down.
14.
Okay.
I rolled a natural 20, so where's my survival? Oh, it's plus 20, so 40.
Goodness.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no.
17.
I got an 18.
Okay. You all start making your way down these steps as best you can. It is fucking hard going. They are carved for the stride of giants. Every time you go down one, it's like jumping off of a fucking 3-foot wall. They are slick with ice. They are covered in snowdrifts. And though Hektor's boots of the Winterlands keeps him from slipping on the ice, everyone else is having quite a bit of trouble. Zurabak, with his druid connection to the natural world, no matter the environment, is able to pick the perfect path, reading the currents of the air, the direction these snowdrifts are piling up in, the angle of these stone stairs. Zurabak is able to perfectly pick the least precipitous path possible. That was a lot of plosives. I apologize. Down this flight of stairs, and he kind of like takes the lead, racing forward and leading you all down. And after, we'll say, 2 minutes of this frantic charge down these stairs, you are able to get to a spot where the oxygen starts to even out a little bit. You get a little bit of cover from a huge wall of ice, this giant jag of ice wall that makes a bit of a crevasse as these stairs head down, and things get a little less chaotic, a little less sharp and harmful. And really, you're able to take a deep breath for the first time as you get down. The air's still pretty thin, but it's not like deadly like it was just a couple minutes ago. You get to a bit of a landing here, surrounded on either sides by these tall, jagged walls of ice here up high in the mountains. And Cedric says, "Well, that was fucking terrible. That's Hector, that's Heaven's Spire. Why the fuck would they put a fucking portal up there? Also, what's a portal? What just happened?"
We walked through a magic doorway that tried to kill us, and now we're here.
How did you get to Everspring if you didn't teleport at all?
Trees.
I mean, I walk through a plant like a normal person. I don't know anything about these, like, just doors that lead to far away. This is crazy.
It's like one of those without... It doesn't need the plant, but it's the same principle.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, is your friend going to be all right? She seems pretty fucked up.
I don't know. Hey, Rilla, are you going to be all right?
Oh my god. That air hurt. Air shouldn't hurt. What the fuck? Like, why are we here? I agree. This should not be a landing spot. Like, I'm okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's just poorly planned.
Do we have lawyers? Can we sue?
We are the lawyers.
And aren't y'all working for the college? Wouldn't you be, like, suing yourselves?
These icy conditions are unacceptable.
We just sue the individual that decided to put the portal there.
I'm assuming that was Grandmaster Hallam, because she's old as dirt.
The stricken pipes up, hopping down a step that is as tall as he is, and says, "Oh, I can assure you all, my protagonists, whoever constructed these standing stones lived hundreds of years before the College of Everspring was ever constructed. These are old magic. I'm not sure why anyone would put one in such a precarious position, but at least we cut down on our travel time."
Yeah, small price to pay, right, Rilla?
Huh. Is Rutherford okay?
Your cat is wheezing and shivering as it curls around your neck like a scarf that's a little too tight, but he does seem to be all right.
Mistress, that was incredibly unpleasant. What the fuck are we doing here?
I don't know, man. I mean, we're following the fucking stricken, so of course something shitty happens, right? Like...
Grave robbing.
That all tracks.
So, as you're standing in this crevasse, Cedric looks around and says, "Yeah, this is pretty far from Giant's Rest. We're a couple miles away at least. This is part of the mountain range we never go to. I mean, well, Hector, at least we can brag that we've actually been to the top of the summit, huh? That's pretty cool."
We didn't climb there ourselves. It doesn't count.
I mean, I'm not going to fucking tell anybody that, are you? Oh, of course you are. Of course you are going to tell people.
It's an honor thing.
Zurabak shrugs.
Yeah, Cedric rolls his eyes.
I shove him off the side of the mountain.
Hector, why would you?
You're currently flanked by two walls of jagged ice, so you got to pick him up and
throw him through the ice.
There you go.
Strike check.
So Cedric says, "Well, I guess these steps are gonna just I don't know. It looks like they're leading to the fortress, so I guess we'll just follow these. Seems like a good plan. I mean, if that's okay with you, boss, what do you think?" He says to Zurabak.
Sure. Though, wasn't planning on being this high up, I guess. And then Zurabak goes forward.
And then we go.
Yes. Forward, onward.
Fantastic. So you all continue forward. These enormous stone steps do indeed seem to continue down the mountain. And as they head downward, they weave back and forth in these switchbacks, sort of zigzagging down the side of this incredibly steep mountain face. They don't get any smaller, so it is kind of fucking difficult to go down these. I mean, every couple strides, you have to jump down a 3-foot tall drop. It is not easy going by any means, and your pace is fairly slow. You are at alternate turns, either walking in between these enormous blue-white walls of smooth ice that rise up on either side of you, blocking out the rest of the world, or turning a corner and just seeing the full expanse of the mountain range, the frozen peaks covered with ice and snow, clouds scudding like at eye level with you all, this high up in the mountain range going over. It is a gorgeous view, but the driving wind sometimes feels like it's going to pick you up and lift you off of these steps, and the snow is being driven in these sharp stabbing gusts that start pelting you, and it is fucking cold up here. Real quick, who is wearing armor made of metal? Anybody?
I'm wearing a chain shirt.
You sure are.
I am also magically doing endure elements if that affects things.
I don't wear armor. But I would say, I know we didn't mention it, but I do have like that cold weather outfit that I obviously would have put on before coming to a goddamn mountain.
Oh, absolutely. Sure. Yeah. None of you were rolling for cold damage. You're well, actually, yeah. Zurabak, are you taking any steps to defend against the cold?
No.
Okay. Excellent. Then Zurabak, as you all are making your way down, so Rilla's got a warm outfit. Hektor and Ruger, you've got endure elements. Cedric has a cold outfit on as well. Zurabak, you're taking lethal damage that you do not get a save against from this biting cold that is driving through this staircase and buffeting you along with everyone else. You're gonna take a d6 of damage every minute you are exposed to this level of cold. With no save. So this shit's actively killing you as you make your way down these incredibly enormous steps. Is there anything you want to do to take steps to avoid that, or are you just going to ride it out?
Will my flaming axe help?
Yeah, I'd say if you want to if you want to hold it incredibly close to Zurabak, yeah, I'd say that could help.
Nah, I'm fine.
Okie dokie.
All right, buddy. Whatever you say.
Zurabak, how many health points do you have?
That's a good question. I haven't looked in a while. 96.
Okay. Well, it takes you about an hour to climb down this enormous mountain path.
60 D6?
Yes. Yeah, so about halfway down, Zurabak, you fucking drop. After about 30 minutes, if you're not going to do anything to protect yourself, after about 30 minutes,
probably about half health, he'll cast endure elements on himself.
Okay, great. That's what I was looking for. So you take like 50 points of damage, stoically striding down this mountain in your wooden armor with your white mantle and your enormous crocodile helmet. And by about the time that half of your health is completely eviscerated.
Wait, what's Snake's health? Because I might do it sooner depending on his. I'd probably do it at like 30 damage then.
Okay, great. So yeah, eventually, as Zurabak stoically tries to stand against this freezing cold without helping himself, eventually he throws on endure elements as well, which he shares with Snake.
It's Snake's bitching that does it.
Sure, yeah, it's a cold-blooded serpent, and it coils around you, like, keeping you from moving after a while, trying to steal your body heat. And eventually you warm the both of you. So yeah, after about an hour of this grueling climb down this pinnacle, these stairs end in a broad landing that turns into something, Hector, you've rarely seen in these mountains that you spent your home in, something of a road. It seems like the giants carved a fairly, if not level, a fairly straight path through the mountains, heading in the direction of your homeland. So yeah, you all finally make it to the end of this staircase, and you start heading through the mountains, surrounded on all sides by this stunning view, miles in every direction. The Briar Marsh to the south of you, the raging sands to the north, and these giant jagged ice-tipped spires of stone everywhere you can see.
As we are walking along, Hector warms everybody's spirits by telling the story of the giants and the settling of Giants Rest years later by the Gatekeeper clan.
Fantastic. Roll me a perform check.
That is a 18 on the dice for a total of 29.
Damn.
I, for one, listen intently to Hector's tale, enraptured by his story.
So does the Stricken. The Stricken is like, his eyes are wide and his mouth is a little open, completely enraptured by her story. Hector, your brother Cedric has his arms crossed and his brow is furrowed. He's in a huff at your mastery of storytelling. As you get done with this tale, you hear the cry of a bird of prey, the sharp cry of an eagle. And you look up and see its source, and there is a beautiful, majestic, bald eagle soaring through even the buffeting winds of this blizzard high overhead. And even as you look at it, it starts to slowly descend, circling kind of around your position, and it starts to lower, obviously heading to where you all are walking along this ice-slick and snow-crusted road.
I instinctively reach a hand for one of my throwing axes.
Hey, Zurabak, you know that bird?
I don't... Maybe... Did you know that bird?
I don't think so, but then again, I don't often comport with people who turn into them.
Hey, do I know that bird?
As you all ask each other if any of you know that bird, this beautiful, majestic, bald eagle alights upon the low stone railing of this road the giants carved through the gate, and it looks at you all with a human intelligence, and it says from its beak, "Oh, hey guys, I was doing some scouting out here. We just pulled up into town. I didn't think I'd see you all here. What's going on? Hey, Zurabak, I like your coat."
No, I don't know this bird, but we should kill it just to be safe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a witch.
Oh, don't be like that, Zurabak. You're always so grumpy. Hector and Rilla, you recognize this voice, though you haven't heard it in quite a long time. Your memory is sparked, and it is kicked in fully when this bird, before your very eyes, transforms into the form of a human woman with blue eyes and long dark hair, who is covered head to toe in the beaks and talons of various birds of prey and various necklaces, bits adorning the braids in her long dark hair, and she is covered in a very heavy looking mantle of feathers that covers her from the neck down. You see Talon, the head of security for the Circle of the Serpent, one of Zurabak's old cohorts, though he would never admit it. She shivers visibly in these Arctic conditions and looks at you all and says, "Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's good to see you again. Hammer guy, elf lady, She looks at you, Ruger, and says, "You're new. I don't think I've seen you before."
Yeah, no, definitely the first time I've met a talking bird. But yeah, no, I'm Ruger Firehide. Nice to make your acquaintance.
She walks up to you, very, very casually, and extends a hand through this enormous feathered mantle she's wearing that's ruffling in these driving winds. Says, "Hi, I'm Talon, head of security for the Circle of the Serpent. It's a pleasure to meet you."
I shake her hand and say something to the effect of, "Those are some lovely feathers you have there."
Oh, stop. This old thing? Yeah, like I said, I was just on patrol. The circle we actually just got into town. We just pulled up into Giant's Rest. What are you guys doing here?
Oh, little grave robin.
Standing in the cold, pretending to talk to birds. Is my
Cedric,
son here?
Yes, Zurabak, your massive, massive child is in fact here. That's how we got here. Do you guys hear Zurabak had a kid?
Is he being fed?
Well, Zurabak, he doesn't need to eat.
He needs to eat.
No, he's.
Oh God.
He's necromantic, Zurabak. You know what? We don't need to get into this fight.
I'm sorry. What?
Wait, no. Zurabak has an actual. Wait. No, hold on.
There's an undead baby.
I named him Zurabak Jr.
He didn't tell you about Zurabak Jr. He was very proud of it when he was born.
Oh, he kind of did. Just didn't necessarily believe him.
Yeah, the Stricken says, "I, for one, would like to know what the fuck you're talking about, honestly." Talon says, "Oh, yeah, well, so the big skeleton we lived in, you guys remember, Hammer Guy, Elf Lady, you remember the big skeleton thing in the swamp?"
That's Hektor the Hammer Guy.
Oh, sorry, Hektor. That's right, Hektor. So sorry. That was rude of me. Elf Lady, what was your handle again?
Rilla.
Rilla?
No. Yeah.
Rilla?
Yeah.
Pleasure to see you again. Sorry about that. So bad with names. So yeah, that big skeleton thing, it's moving now. It got up, it's walking around. Zurabak helped, he named it Zurabak Jr. because he's Zurabak. But yeah, we're riding around inside of it. The circle thought it was time to get a move on and, kind of move north. And yeah, we just pulled up into into that giant mountain pass you guys have. We're chilling at the fortress. Hektor, you look a lot like Rufus, the chief down there at Giant's Rest. Are you any relation? Cedric pipes up and says, "He's the firstborn son. He's next in line to be chief. I don't know why he's so fucking shy about it now. It's usually the first thing out of his mouth."
Jealous?
That shut up, Ruger. I don't even know you that well, man.
Well, I'm getting to know you, Mr. Jealous.
Isn't he great?
Ruger, stop arguing with my little brother.
You guys just bring it out of me, Hektor. Or should I say, Prince Hektor?
That's not exactly how it works, but sure.
Well, anyway, it is.
Wait, no, seriously, you're royalty, and he's royalty. Rilla, why are you royalty?
I mean, I'm an elf, but, technically, I think my family leads that, the remnants now, right?
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure she's queen of the elves.
I mean...
Isn't her aunt their leader now? She seems pretty kingly. She ate that dude's clothes and made them hers.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe you're princess.
Mm-hmm. It kind of does sound right.
I don't know. They're starting a little bit of a weird kind of culty religion over there with them elves, too. I wouldn't be surprised if she's their god before the year's out.
Oh, okay. That's a lot.
Well, Talon says, well, that's a lot of nobles. Wow, I don't know if I should bow or curtsy or, I mean, I'm not going to do that, but I don't know what's called for. Anyway, it's super fucking cold out here. We should probably get going. I was scouting for like new animals, trying to take the opportunity, new environments, new things to turn into. I did see a pack of like big furry two-legged things that seemed kind of vicious, kind of coming this way. We should probably step it up and get a move on.
Have you met my people, the goats?
They're harmless.
Oh, those goats are fucking wicked, Zurabak. Those things are badass. Yeah, I've definitely seen them. Check it out. And she just turns into a fucking gatekeeper goat.
I fed them the last time I was here. I am their champion.
Hektor, at the mention of bestial two-legged creatures running through the mountains, you get a bit of a bad feeling at the back of your neck, and you remember the fourth terrible thing about being this close to the Spire of Heaven, the tallest point in all of the gate. This is Yeti country. And
I growl like Zurabak.
No, you gotta put more throat into it.
Your growl, Firehide, is drowned out by a very deep and menacing growl from up the stairs behind you all, as you see a small crowd of these white-furred bipedal creatures with ape-like faces and 4 arms ending in these sharp talons loping towards you. And Talon says, "Oh shit. Yeah, sorry. I guess they're here." Oh, I'm sorry, Brian. Did you have something there?
I wanted to, square up and bellow at them and try and scare them off with my incredible display of prowess.
Okay. You turn to face this small. There's like 5 of these yetis. You know these creatures are deadly, territorial, incredibly vicious, and they'll fucking kill anything that comes anywhere near their roaming grounds. That's another reason why no one fucking comes up here. And you turn to face them and try a war cry to scare them off.
Yes.
Okay. Roll me an intimidate check. In the driving wind and lashing snow up here in the heights of the gate.
I rolled a 15 on the dice for a total of 24.
Damn. Yeah. That's actually pretty good. What exactly do you do?
Hektor just kind of goes into like feral mode. He turns around and he slams his fists on the ground and against his chest and growls out.
Yeah, you turn towards this pack of yetis coming towards you and your companions, and you channel the furious bestiality. Not bestiality. Oof. Let me take that again. Holy shit.
No, that's staying in.
Yeah.
Leave it.
You channel the furious bestial nature of these very creatures, and you roar. You roar louder than you thought you would, and you realize that you, on instinct, threw a little ghost sound in there, which echoes your voice off of the walls of ice and these stone steps, and deafening roar splits from your lips. And these yetis, all 5 of them, stop short about like 100 feet from you and your companions. They skid to a stop, and they fucking back up, looking at you all no longer as prey, but maybe as a threat. And as you stand there challenging them, beating your fists on the ground and against your chest, they all turn around and head back up the fucking steps. Nicely done.
Wow.
It's a hell of an intimidate check, gotta say.
So anyway, this is the gates. You know.
Is that like normal around here? You just roar at some... What were those things for bear monsters?
Cowards.
Well, you got that right.
Those are Yetis.
Like the coolers.
You know, I've never done that specific thing before, but the thing about most wild animals is that they don't want to mess with something that could be an issue. They're just hunting. So if you make yourself seem tough, most will back off.
Talon, beside you, turns from a goat back into her human form, her long dark hair flowing in this powerful wind in her feathered mantle, and she says, "Wow, all right, hammer guy, Hektor, the hammer guy. That was pretty fucking impressive. That's some straight up animal shit. That was awesome."
Call me Prince Hektor, the hammer guy, and I walk past her.
Oh, God.
It's begun.
And you all continue on your merry way.
My way is not merry. Damn it.
You make your frigid, uncomfortable way through these mountains with the aid of this road carved by the giants long ago. You make pretty good time, and you pass through these miles of mountains quicker than you'd think. Led by Hektor and Cedric, who grew up here, you finally, blessedly, see stretched out before you after you turn around a wall of jagged frozen stone, a massive fortress built on a scale for giants, made up of gray slabs of stone laid by impossibly strong hands thousands of years ago, with people in furs and leathers streaming all around, sharpening axes, watching cook fires, drinking at long tables. The fortresses of Giant's Rest, the twin fortresses that flank the enormous gateway, the pass through the gates, lies before you.
I whistle, impressed.
Yeah, it is on an incredibly large scale. All of the barbarians swarming all around it seem like children. There's, you see like wooden planks and ramps set up to like get up some of these stairs and navigate some of these spaces that were obviously not built for humans. And as this all comes into view, a gatekeeper scout sees you all. Hektor, this is Dominic with a K. Not one of your family members, but a solid worker, a solid tribesman that you've known for a while. He's standing at his post, like any good gatekeeper, with a huge axe in his hands. He says, "Hey, who goes there?"
I do the secret gatekeeper salute.
Now, Brian, tell me what that is. Our listeners are dying to know what that is.
That is a good.
You think you were going to get away? You think you're going to get away with that?
I thought you were just flipping him the bird.
You know that movement where like you take your arms and you like extend them out and then like bent at the elbow, so that you like move them together in front of you, and like that represents a door. Does anyone? Does describing arm movements work?
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
Okay, cool. That's it though.
Okay, you perform the inscrutable gatekeeper secret secret hand signal.
You press your arms together to represent like two doors closing in front of you.
Okay, so like you're pressing your forearms together to make like a gate. That's sure. Yeah, you make this hand signal, and the scout Dominic says, "Oh, hey, yeah, you're clear to come on through. Who is that out there?
Holy shit, Hector? Hector, is that you? Oh my god, it's been so long. What the fuck are you doing here, man? And he runs up to like clasp your forearm with his big buff barbarian arms.
Yeah, I grab him, I bring him into a hug.
Holy shit, man.
Dom, how are your parents?
Oh, they're great, man. They're great. Still doing private security for the chief, still part of the honor guard. They're doing good. They're getting a little restless in their old age, but man, it's good to see you. God, it's
good to see you too.
It's been a long time. What the hell are you doing here?
Just saving the world.
Your brother sighs deeply at that.
I sighed deeply at that.
Dom says, "Oh man, well shit. I guess you're gonna want to see your dad, huh? Rufus has been really missing you."
Oh.
Yeah, of course. Very excited to see my father, who I love and am excited to see.
Oh, don't worry, man. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. Yeah, we snuck you out of here to go with the little short guy. Are his eyes black? What the fuck is going on with him?
It's just don't talk to him.
He's going through a phase.
Or
Just-
just
don't talk to him, and maybe even spread the word. Just don't talk to him.
Yes, let's spread as much interest in him as possible.
That's a great plan.
Yeah, okay. Don't do that. Just you personally don't talk.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Cool. Well, yeah, fucking come on in. Hey, I'm Dom. Nice to meet everybody. Welcome to Giant's Rest.
Thanks, friend.
And he turns and leads you down this path, past a couple more of these like watch posts, these small stands of stones with like a little warming brazier behind them, and a few more guards give you a wave and the secret gatekeeper salute, which I will let the listeners imagine. And eventually you are walking through the streets of this like dizzyingly large town. There's a giant flat spot carved out centuries ago, millennia ago by the giants, that they built these huge gray stone buildings on. It's all like brutalist architecture. It's all sharp angles and corners. All these buildings are, 50, 60, 100 feet tall, looming all around you. With doorways that are, 3 times taller than the tops of your heads. And they're incredibly buff barbarians with like some with painted faces, all wearing thick layers of hides and fur and leather, all armed to the teeth with enormous weapons, all with throwing axes at their hip, and they're all incredibly friendly. Hector, you are hugged by like 13 different people as you make your way through town.
Yeah, I greet every person that we pass individually and by name.
Absolutely, yeah. You're being stopped constantly, and everyone has smiles and waves for the rest of you. Ruger, Rilla, and Zurabak. Cedric gets like more and more huffy as you're making your way through, and the Stricken is keeping his goddamn mouth shut.
Question.
Yes.
Do I get a bonus to hide in snow?
I'll give you a +2 bonus to hide in snow.
I'll take it.
Yes, you will, because that's all I'm giving you. As you're making your way through town, you get to like a courtyard that has been turned into a feast hall. A large slab of stone angled so that the snow rolls off of it is supported by these huge beams of stone open to the air, with these very long rows of wooden tables all set out with dozens and dozens of gatekeepers all drinking flagons of ale that are small casks and singing drinking songs. There's a lively atmosphere. As soon as you get into this courtyard, Dom yells out, "Hey, everybody! Fucking Hector's back!" And there's like a cheer
The entire courtyard erupts like, yeah! Clapping. People are like up on tables cheering. Hektor! 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 Everyone is overjoyed at your return.
Oh, well, that's just wholesome.
Oh, it's going to be a shame when the undead giants attack here.
Ooh. Wait, what?
I don't hear you say that. I'm too busy being a dork.
You are immediately pulled into a huge cluster of like a dozen people who are all like shuffling to shake your hand, clap you on the back, ask you about your stories. And you were all of you, motioned over to some tables, giant hides, these like warm, well-made goat hides like thrown around you all to warm you up, and you're all given just enormous flagons of ale. Everyone's like, yeah, come on, come sit down, come join the party. We're just, taking a little break. Just enjoying this fine weather. It's a beautiful day, unseasonably warm, actually. And yeah, drinks are all thrust into your hands. And Hektor, it is as you're surrounded by this crowd of people that a voice cuts over the din. Is that my boy? Move, get out of the way. Is that my son? The voice of your father, Rufus, chief of the gatekeepers, cuts through the din, and his voice, like thunder, rumbles over all of these adulations you're getting from your clansman, Hektor, and everyone goes silent and still. The crowd around you parts a little bit, and the towering form of your father starts to move through. This man is 7 feet tall, 250 pounds of pure muscle. This man is a slab of solid fucking beef. His hair is black, but gray at the temples and these large wings. He's got a beard, a white beard, down to his chest that is thick and full, and he's got a leather cord tied around his forehead with a single axe-shaped metal talisman in the middle of it, which seems to be his only sign of rank. But every single gatekeeper immediately moves aside, and a kind of a hush comes over the crowd as he comes in. And Hektor, your dad walks right up to you. He stands about a...
And I just want to make the quick note that Hektor is 6'3".
Yeah.
So, Hector's a big boy, but his father is like
absolutely. Yeah, he comes and stands like a foot away from you, a head taller than you, and stares down at you with his icy blue eyes and says, "My son, you left here without giving me the chance to say goodbye, without giving me the chance to talk you out of this fool's errand. You left your people behind, and I have to say, it's so fucking good to see you, son." And he just runs forward and wraps you up in a giant fucking bear hug. He like lifts you up off of your feet and like kisses your cheek and starts just crying his eyes out. My boy's come back. And everyone just fucking cheers all around you.
Aw.
I hug him back, and I just say quietly into his ears, I didn't leave anyone behind.
What?
Oh, what's up?
I was just gonna say, while everyone's distracted, Rilla dumps her beer out. Obviously.
You're not a fan of the gatekeeper grog?
I know how strong that shit is, and I was already drunk on my last mission, so yeah.
You pour your beer onto the table like, oh, so good, yummy. While Hector's having this teary reunion with his dad, what are the rest of y'all doing?
Patting his brother's shoulder. There. I'd miss you.
Wow.
Cedric wipes a tear from the corner of his eye and says, "Thanks, boss. That means a lot." Fucking Hektor.
Aw.
Cedric, you've been gone for a day. Chill.
Like 3-ish days, probably. I don't know, I was gone for a while.
And Rufus, the chief of the Gatekeeper clan, finally lets you go, Hektor, and says, "My son,
I am sorry. Sorry that I raised you to think that you would have to sneak away from me to go out into the world. That you thought you would have to leave us behind without even saying goodbye. If I ever did anything to make you think that I wouldn't support you in anything you do, then that is my failing as a parent and as a chief. Gatekeepers of Giant's Rest, rejoice, for Hektor has returned. I declare this a day of feasting. Let none except those on patrol work a single hour this day. I have some new friends to meet, and we have guests to show the welcome of the gatekeepers to. Strike up the drums! Huzzah!
And everyone just goes apeshit. The entire coterie of barbarians just goes, "Ah!" This huge cheer goes up, and everyone just starts pounding ale. Just drinking all around these tables. And Rufus says, "All right, boy, and introduce me to these friends of yours."
All right. Well, this is Rilla.
Hi.
Yeah, Rufus, squats down a little bit to offer his hand to shake yours. And he, with surprising delicacy for a man his size, it's like trying to hold a bear's paw. The scale of this guy's ridiculous. He reaches down and tenderly grasps your hand in both of his and warmly shakes it and says,
Rilla, welcome to Giant's Rest. May you find shelter and warmth by our fires.
Thank you? I think, did we meet his dad last time? I can't remember.
No, we did not.
You did not. This is the first time you, Rilla, and Ruger have been to Giant's Rest. The last time you took the high pass, you have never been here before.
Okay, because I was like, I know we've been in the mountains. I remember being in the mountains. But okay,
Yes.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, we skipped Giant's Rest last time.
It's so lovely to meet you. Hektor is almost always talking about his family. I can tell he loves you all very much. And I shake his hand as hard as I can.
Yeah.
As strongly as I can.
It's a firm grip you got there, young lady. I can see why Hektor travels with such a competent young warrior.
He eyes your sword and is like,
A long sword, huh? Nice. I'm an axeman myself, but it's these kind of differences that make the world a more beautiful place, wouldn't you agree?
Sure, Rilla says. I'm really tempted to transform into him, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you fight down the impulse.
The whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Do it. Do it.
He finishes shaking your hand and he stands up straight and says,
Who else have we got here, son?
That's Zurabak. He's...
I point at my herald.
Cedric looks nervous, and his father Rufus puts a hand on his shoulder and says,
Now, son, I heard you got a job. You want to make sure you do it right.
and Cedric says,
Rufus, chief of the Gatekeeper clan, may I present for your pleasure the king of the shocker lizards, champion of the goats, emperor of the rats, the wraith of Briarmarsh, and duke of the Isle of Neho, Zurabak the Unburned.
And Rufus looks down at you and says,
Well, Zurabak, I have to say, you are absolutely terrifying. Look at you! By the gods! You're the scariest motherfucker I've ever seen! Get a load of this guy! Fucking terrifying, right? I wouldn't want to run into you on the pass.
then he reaches forward to shake your hand.
I shake it.
He claps you on the shoulder and accidentally hits one of your spikes and says,
By the gods, you're just deadly toe to tip. You gotta be careful, I might end up hiring someone like you.
I'm very expensive.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Who else have we got here? So many new faces.
And the lawman. Ruger Firehide.
Hey there, Chief.
Rufus turns to you, Ruger, and gives you an up down and says,
Now you look like the kind of man that knows how to do a good job and enjoy a good drink.
I'm doing both as we speak. And then I take a big drink of the gatekeeper ale.
Ha ha! You and I are gonna get along just fine.
and he reaches down to shake your hand.
I shake his, and as I do, I say, just wait till you meet my axe.
Ah, excellent. You and me are gonna get along famously, Mr. Firehide. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
Dad, did you say excellent?
I know he did. I groaned at the dad joke.
Dad, no. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends.
You know I can't help myself.
And that's everyone.
Yeah, your dad side-eyes the stricken.
Oh, wait. That's Snake. I point at the snake.
Yeah, Rufus looks...
That is Snake, the snake.
Rufus looks at your enormous serpent and says,
By all the gods, look at that thing. It's large enough to be a mount for the giants that built our home. I bet you like to wrestle, don't you, big guy?
Careful, he does bite.
He rushes forward and like throws his arms around your snake, and Snake coils around him. But Rufus like just kind of tussles with him a little bit, and Snake like flicks his tongue against his ear in a sign that you see as acceptance. Zurabak. He's like, oh, I knew it. Gah! And he like scratches him under the fucking chin. And Snake lets him go. It's like,
well, any day that brings so many new faces to the gate is a glorious day indeed. I'm sure there will be plenty of time to share the tales of your grand adventures out there in the wide world. Know that you are all welcome here, and that you are all friends of the Gatekeeper clan. What brings you to our mountain home?
No, just a little grave robbing.
just a little grave
Just a
robbing.
small amount of grave robbing.
he scratches his big white beard and says,
Grave robbing, huh? Well, that's all part of the noble art of adventuring, I suppose. We don't have too many graves around here. We normally go with sky burials. What grave are you robbing?
Giant one?
I'm sorry. You're going to have to speak up. I don't think I heard you right. What grave are you robbing?
Giants.
I shuffle uncomfortably, and then I say, that guy over there is making us do it.
Don't. I point your finger. I push your hand to point your finger.
I point directly at the stricken.
Well, that's gonna be a bit of a problem. That's one of our most closely guarded sites. It's kind of the resting place of the people that blessed us with this fortress.
I know, but we need to retrieve an artifact that will save the world.
Yep. And I kind of thrust my protagonist badge forward a little bit. Not that this guy would have any idea what that is.
on the contrary, as you thrust your protagonist badge forward, Rufus's eyes go wide, and the chief of the Gatekeeper clan looks at all of you in a slightly different light and says,
Is that real? Are you all chosen by Protos?
Yes, sirree, Bob. You're darn tootin'.
Yeah, I point to my headband.
Hector, your father, Rufus, turns to look at you and finally seems to acknowledge the headband you're wearing and looks you up and down, and he starts to get misty-eyed and says,
By the gods, my boy's the protagonist? My boy's a protagonist!
And another enormous cheer goes up from the crowd. And Rufus says,
You know what? We can talk about it. I can't promise anything more than that now, but we can certainly talk about it. But not today. Today's a day for celebration. My son's returned to me. We have new guests. And we've just got an enormous crowd of druids in the mountain pass trying to negotiate for our escort into the northern lands. Quite a big business deal coming up, son. I might need your help with some of the negotiations. There'll be plenty of time to deal with whatever important business you have to get to, but for today, we drink! Huzzah!
Huzzah!
And Rufus throws his arms around Hector's shoulder and draws him to the head of one of these long wooden tables and invites you all to come along with him. And he sits down and starts drinking and demands that Hector start sharing all of his stories. And you all spend the rest of the afternoon and the evening in the warm embrace of the gatekeeper's hospitality. And that is where we will end. Hello and welcome to As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast, where we take a deep dive into our player characters' frustrations, motivations, characterizations, and try to get a better understanding of them as people. In this part of our show, we like to ask one of our protagonists a question and see if we can unearth some deeper truths about them. Today in studio, we have the lawman Ruger Firehide. Ruger, how are you?
I am quite peachy, host. It's nice to be back in the studio after that unfortunate skate park incident.
It is nice to see you after all that madness. We do have a strict no shenanigan policy in place now, so
I signed the waiver.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Well, Ruger, I'm very glad you're here in the studio today. I wanted to talk to you about your new responsibilities in the city of Everspring, namely your induction as a scrivener in the Order of the Quill. You have been a paladin for a little bit now, and I know that Captain Kurz, Scrivener himself, has been sort of wanting to get you pulled into his knightly order for quite a while now. I wanted to sort of unpack how you're feeling about that turn of events and what you think your future might be. How do you feel now that you're a member of this knightly order tasked with guarding the safety of all written works and the college in general?
Well, host, I guess you could say that it was a long time coming. As you said, Kurz has been after me for better part of 2 decades now, trying to get me to join up.
Yeah, you two have known each other for a long time.
Yeah, we certainly have. Good man, that Kurz, and yeah, he's been chirping in my ear for, hell, as long as I can remember. To join the order. I guess you could say it's been calling me for a long time, but I finally got around to listening, I suppose. But honestly, host, it feels right. It feels like it's what Protos wants me to be doing. I mean, obviously, I'm out with my other protagonists trying to right ancient wrongs and fix a broken world, but in between all that, there's still more to be done, and it's high time I start doing it. So I feel good. I feel righteous. I feel motivated.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. Now, obviously, you've been working with your fellow protagonists for a while now, but for a long time, you were out on the road working by yourself as a bounty hunter, a lawman in the freeholds. Now that you are a member of the Order of the Quill, now that you are a Knight Scrivener yourself, you are part of a fairly sizable team. What has that been like for you? Is that a breath of fresh air or a source of anxiety?
Well, I'd say that it chafed a little bit in the beginning. I think Hektor and myself possibly could have gotten off on a better foot, and Zurabak's a swamp monster, so that takes a little getting used to, and occasionally Rilla would just like turn into me, and that was a little disconcerting. And the guy who brought me on actually was dead the whole time and was a different guy. So, yeah, I'd say it's taken some getting used to. But now that I have, I'd say, we're doing big things. And are destined to do bigger things, I'd wager.
And so being a member of this knightly order with other warriors, other paladins in their midst, being part of this organization, would you say that is easier now that you've been on the road with your fellow protagonists for as long as you have?
Oh, yeah, I would say it's gotten easier, but regardless of the ease of it, I think it's the right thing to do. I mean, I'll be earnest with you, host. I got a little more gray in this hair of late, and I'm no spring chicken. So, seems time's upon me to pass on some of this knowledge that I got here, some of this experience I earned the hard way. And, maybe I can't help some of these young squires chart a better path.
Oh, well, now that is interesting. Would you say that this new position in this organization has given you a new perspective on your future?
Well, yes, I guess so. I suppose for a long time now, I've looked at the world around us and watched it get darker, weirder, more wild, and then the Badlands started spreading, and the day I saw it eating the forest, I gotta be honest, I started to lose hope. And then we got to Everspring. And slowly but surely, brick by brick, I've started to rebuild that structure. And I think now with the order, I have something to channel my efforts into and try and kindle that spark of hope and turn it into dare I say, a full-blown fire.
Well, I think that is a lovely note to end on, Ruger. I'm incredibly happy for you and your success as a protagonist, and for your, ability to finally join this order that I know has been calling you for quite a while here. I myself, and I'm sure our listeners, are very eager to see what the future has in store for you and for the Order of the Quill. And I wish you all the best.
You as well, host. Give Sharon and I guess our sponsors my love.
Yeah, no problem. Sharon! Ruger says he loves you. Yeah, it's a little familiar, but yeah, yeah. Yeah, she says she loves you too. Well, that's going to do it for us here on As the Dice Turns, the podcast after the podcast. Sharon and I want to thank you for listening to our little program here, and as always, keep those dice turning. Hey there, dear listener. Sam the DM here, checking in with the credits at the end of the show. Challenge Rating 0 was edited by the incomparable Audius Prime, aka Matt Sims. You can find more of his work at audiusprime.com. Music for Challenge Rating 0, including our amazing theme song, is provided by the harp wolf Danielle Williams. You can find more of her work at danielletaylorharp.bandcamp.com, including her album Why Are We Surprised When Seasons Change. Additional music for Challenge Rating 0 is provided by Justin Ra. You can find more of his work at justinra.com, including his album Age of the Spirit. If you want to find us on social media, we are on Facebook and Instagram at Challenge Rating 0. We are at Twitter at Challenge_0. And if you'd like to email us here at the show and send any questions for As the Dice Turn segment, you can send any emails to challengeratingzero@gmail.com. Any questions we receive will be read on air. If you'd like to support the show, we are on Patreon, patreon.com/CR_ZERO. We've got some bonus content on there for you folks if you are interested. And if you can't support us fungibly, we ask only that maybe you take some time to give us a review, recommend us to a friend, all that good stuff. Thank you so much for listening. We're still trying to make the best show we can for you folks. We're going to keep on keeping on. I hope you all take care of yourselves and each other out there. We'll see you next time.